Hi all. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira and my channel is all about trying new makeup, talking about new makeup, but also finding new and exciting ways to be inspired by the makeup you already own. If that sounds good to you, I hope you would consider subscribing, and if you enjoyed today's video, hitting the like button. Today, guys, as you can see, my lips are bare, and that is because we are going to be swatching some of my favorite red lipsticks in my collection in time for Valentine's Day. If you're looking for like that perfect red for your skin tone, or just to see the types of varying reds and how they work on, if you are a similar skin tone to me, what those might look like for you. So I thought I'd do this just in time for Valentine's Day. Swatch some red lippies. Let's get into it. All right, so I will zoom you guys in. Hello, hello. Lips are bare. And first up, let's start with, and I'm going to go by E's formula to remove because I think that's just the smartest thing to do. So first up is the shade Dynamite from Propa Beauty. Looks like this, and it kind of looks orange, but when I put it on, it's like this beautiful like red orange, and it's got a lot of shine to it. And I like this as an alternative if you're not someone who's really into like traditional reds. This is a great option, and the formula is very comfortable. It's very almost like, I would say, not gel-like, but kind of. It's got silicone. It definitely has some silicone in it that makes it very glidey, very easy to apply, and very easy to remove. And as you can see on me, it pulls quite orange. But if you were a shade lighter than me, this is going to look really red on you. Look how beautiful that is. So yeah, this is Propa Beauty in the shade Dynamite. Next up, let's get into one of the classics. This is a classic. This is to me, like when I think of like red, holiday red, Valentine's red, I think of this shade, and this is Lisa Eldridge Velvet Ribbon. And this is the shade that started it all for her. It was one of the first, if not the first shade she released. And it is just a classic kind of blue toned red. But yeah, this is just such a pretty red, and it is a matte. But I will say, like I've said before, Lisa has my favorite matte formula because even though her lipsticks are matte, they are so comfortable on the lips and they last a really long time. So they're not going to give you that like crusty, dry feeling that you get with matte lipsticks. I don't get that with her lipsticks at all. So yeah, this is Velvet Ribbon. All right, next up, let's try one of my current faves, probably my all-time fave. I'm gonna just say it because I don't wear reds that much. I own a lot of reds, but it's just more like special occasion when I'm just looking for that, you know, I want options, but I don't wear them. It's not something that I think about all the time. But this shade I have been reaching for a ton recently. You guys have complimented me on this lipstick a million times on, you know, in videos, and I'm just obsessed with it. And it is Pat McGrath's Forbidden Love. So I'm going to apply that now. That's so stunning. Love this shade. And what I like about it is different from Velvet Ribbon, and that it's just a bit punchier. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but it's just a bit punchier. It's a bit brighter. It probably has a tiny bit more pink to it. It's not as blue toned in my opinion, but it just, look how pretty that is. And it just, when I put it on, this is one of those lipsticks, and this is the secret that I love about red lips, is that if you throw on a red lip and some mascara, it can make your entire face look like you have a full face of makeup on. It's just one of those things that instantly makes you look like you tried and put together. That is the magic of a great red lipstick. So a lot of the times when I'm feeling a little ugh, but I want to feel not ugh, is I will put on some mascara, maybe a sparkly eyeshadow, maybe not, maybe just keep my lids bare, and I'll put on a lipstick like this. And this is enough to make me feel like 1,000 times better and like more put together and more just like myself, you know? So yeah, this is Forbidden Love. Let's get into the next shade. My lips are so pink. And that is another Pat McGrath. This is a different one. This is a different formulation, and this is one that I think is overlooked. I think this one scares people off. It scared me off for a while, and the only reason that I decided to try it is that she was having another one of her Great Lipstick sales. This was a while ago, and I was like, you know what? Fine, I'll try a couple shades. So I picked this shade along with two other more neutral tones, and this is the one that I've come to like the most. And this is the Bliss Trance lipstick in the shade Blood Rush. And this is Blood Rush. Do you see how bright this is? And I'm gonna zoom you, well, I'll turn this down just so you guys can see a little bit. Do you see how the shimmer in this just gives it a little something extra? It's not overpowering. It doesn't look like, oh my gosh, she's wearing metallic lips. It just gives the lips some dimension. And I've worn this quite a few times and have gotten so many compliments because it just looks dynamic and you know, to the eye. It doesn't look over the top like you just threw on like a bunch of like glitter on your lip. And that's what I like about the Bliss Trance formula. Is actually, even though it is a metallic and it does have shimmer in it, and I don't know, let me see if you guys can even see the shimmer in that. I don't know if it's picking it up. It's very subtle. It's very subtle, but it just gives the lips a little something extra. So if you're someone who wants a red, but you want a red that isn't like your run-of-the-mill matte satin formula, this is a great option. It's beautiful, really comfortable on the lips. You don't feel any of the shimmer. Like, it's not like gritty on the lips at all. Perfectly smooth, beautiful tone. I really like this lipstick, and yeah, this is a beautiful one. And this is, again, this is Pat McGrath's Blood Rush. So one of Pat's, and this is another Pat because I own pretty much all of her reds with maybe the exception of one, and I think I just like fixed that by purchasing it. But her like most iconic red is the Elson red, and then she came out with Elson too. So I will show you what they look like. So first up is Elson, which looks like this, and I will swatch it for you. So that is Elson. And then this is Elson 2. And you can see the difference where Elson, the OG Elson, is more of a classic tone, and Elson 2 has a tiny bit more orange to it. So let's swatch them both. So first up is Elson 1. All right, so this is Elson 1. And what I will say is I feel like this tone reminds me the most of Lisa's Velvet Ribbon. It's kind of in the same vein. I will say that Velvet Ribbon is a bit punchier in my opinion, just like that's a teeny bit more pigment, but they're very much in the same vein. And let's go ahead and swatch them next to each other just so we can see. Let's do a little for science, you know? So this is Velvet Ribbon and this is Elson. So do you see what I mean? How I feel like they're in the same tone, like the same vein, but Ribbon is just a tad punchier. So if you find Velvet Ribbon to be a bit much, maybe Elson would be the perfect sort of middle ground, because it's still a vibrant red. As you can see, it's still a beautiful, vibrant, classic red, but it's just not quite as punchy, not quite as bright. And I forgot how beautiful this one is too. I feel like it's lovely on the lips. I do enjoy Pat's matte formula. It's not as Lisa's my favorite, but I think Pat is probably, it's in my top 5 as far as matte bullet lipstick formulas. Beautiful, beautiful tone. So yes, this is the original Elson. And now let's try Elson 2. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at this. Look how orange leaning this is on me. This is Elson 2. On someone with a lighter skin tone, this will look quite red on them. But if you are my skin tone or deeper, it's going to pull more orange. But I mean, look how stunning this is. This is a great alternative to like the Elson one if that's not your jam. I mean, because this is what it looks like swatched on my hand. So as you can see, it looks far more red on my hand than it does on my lips, because my skin with things that have orangier undertones tend to lean heavy into the orange. So this is what it looks like on me. Not a guarantee this is what it's going to look like on you, but and I turned the lighting down just so you can see what I mean, that it's very orange leaning on me. This is a me thing because I have very yellow golden undertones. So anything with orange in my skin is just going to go, it's orange. How beautiful is that? It's so stunning though. But yeah, as you can see from the swatches on my hand, it's much more of it has that orange undertone, but it's much deeper on my hand than it is on my lips. And so if this is more your vibe and you don't have my undertones, this will be a good option for you. And finally, last but not least, is my favorite liquid lipstick red. I've talked about this on my channel before. It is my go-to liquid lipstick red, and before Forbidden Love I would have said it was my favorite red, but Forbidden Love is taking the top spot, so it is now in the second spot, and that is the Dose of Colors shade in Extra Saucy. I have it in the OG packaging. I don't have much of this left, so I'm probably going to wind up repurchasing this in the new packaging, but I am going to apply it now. Ignore my application because it's terrible at this point, but look at this red, y'all. I don't know. Is this still my number one? I don't know, because look at this red. Look at this. Every time I wear this, I just feel some kind of way about myself. I'm just like, yeah, that's right. That's how I feel. Every time I wear this red, it just gives me life. It is so stunning. Maybe it's tied for the top spot with Forbidden Love, but I love this tone on me. It is such the perfect blend of like, it's right in the middle, you know, it's not cool toned, it's not warm, it's just like the perfect neutral red for my skin. And as you can see, it immediately, like, it looks really great with this eye makeup. But usually when I'm wearing red eyeshadow, I don't wear red lips. I usually wear a neutral lip because it's just a bit much. But with this eye, because this is so neutral and not so like, it works. Like, I wouldn't wear any of these other lipsticks with this eye, but I would wear this one with this eye. How pretty is this? I love it. I'm like staring at myself in the viewfinder because I'm just like, hey girl. I love this. So yeah, this is my Dose of Colors in Extra Saucy. And I'm feeling extra saucy wearing it. All right, guys, so those are all my favorite reds. All the reds in my collection that I would reach for during this Valentine's Day season. And I have one of these reds in my February makeup capsule. I have Forbidden Love from Pat McGrath, so you're probably going to be seeing that, and you have seen it on my channel quite a few times. But yeah, these are the reds that I love and like to reach for during this time of year. And let me know in the comments down below, what are some of your favorite reds? Let us know in the comments down below, because if someone's in the market, and again, red's not my favorite lipstick color, but it's also one of those colors that I feel like it's just good to have. Now I have a lot, considering that it's not my fave. I have a lot, but that's because I'm me and I'm extra. Okay, you don't have to have all of these reds, of course not. Find one or two that work for you and use those. But I'm always curious about what people's favorite red lipsticks are, because there's so many tones to choose from, even though it seems like such a boring color in the sense that it just seems it's a red, but there can be so much nuance to red. So I'm always curious to what people's favorites are. Let us know in the comments down below, guys. And if you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to hit the like button, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now.